Have you ever imagined what it would be like if a mountain, a giant, powerful volcano, could feel lonely and forgotten? What if it decided to wake up, not out of malice, but simply because it needed to be remembered? Today, we're diving into a captivating story about a brave young boy named Tiko, who teaches us that even the mightiest forces in our world thrive on care and respect. In a peaceful little village nestled at the foot of the colossal Mount Duma, life was simple and happy. The villagers had lived for generations under the watchful eye of the volcano, which had been dormant for as long as anyone could remember. They spoke of it with a fond reverence, believing it was a gentle guardian, a peaceful giant that kept them safe. Among these villagers was a young boy named Tiko. Tiko was full of life and curiosity. He had a special connection with the world around him. He adored climbing the rolling hills that surrounded his home, feeling the sun on his face, and listening to the secrets whispered by the wind. He saw the world not just as a place to live, but as a living, breathing entity. One quiet night, as the moon cast a silvery glow over the sleeping village, a strange and unsettling tremor rippled through the earth. The ground shuddered, and a deep, guttural groan echoed from the peak of Mount Duma. A thin plume of smoke began to curl into the starlit sky. Tiko, awakened by the shaking, felt a knot of unease tighten in his stomach. "What's happening?" he whispered to himself, his heart pounding. He quickly slipped out of his small house and stared up at the mountain. A faint, ominous red light pulsed from the crater, painting the underside of the smoke clouds in a threatening crimson. Panic erupted in the village. Doors flew open and people stumbled into the streets, their faces etched with fear. They gathered in the main square, their voices rising in a frantic chorus. "Mount Duma is awake. The giant is angry." The elders, who had only heard stories of the volcano's last eruption from their own grandparents, looked on with wide, terrified eyes. The peaceful guardian had suddenly become a source of dread. But amidst the chaos, Tiko felt something different. It wasn't just fear. It was a sense of empathy, a deep-seated feeling that the mountain wasn't just angry, but perhaps hurt. He knew with a certainty that settled deep in his bones that he had to do something. He couldn't just stand by while his home was in peril. With a determined look on his face, Tiko ran to the river that flowed from the mountain's base. He grabbed a sturdy woven basket and began to fill it with smooth, cool river stones, each one washed clean by the clear, flowing water. He knew these stones held the coolness and tranquility of the river, a stark contrast to the fiery heat brewing within the volcano. With the heavy basket clutched tightly in his hands, he began his ascent. The path up Mount Duma was steep and treacherous, and the ground continued to shake beneath his small feet, making every step a challenge. The air grew warmer, thick with the smell of sulfur and ancient earth. Small rocks, dislodged by the tremors, tumbled down the slopes, forcing him to be nimble and quick. Undeterred, Tiko pressed on, his resolve hardening with every step. The higher he climbed, the hotter the air became, scorching his throat and making his eyes water. Finally, gasping for breath, he reached the rim of the crater. The sight before him was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. In the heart of the swirling smoke and glowing magma, he could just make out what looked like two enormous half-open eyes, weary and filled with a profound sadness. The mountain let out a great rumbling yawn, a sound so powerful it vibrated through Tiko's entire body, sending a shower of small rocks cascading down its sides. Gathering all his courage, Tiko stood tall at the edge of the inferno. He wasn't just facing a geological phenomenon. He felt he was facing a living being. "Why are you waking?" he called out, his voice clear and steady, despite the trembling in his legs. A low, powerful rumble answered him, the voice of the mountain itself. Ancient and sorrowful, I am tired, and I am sad. The volcano rumbled, its voice like the grinding of tectonic plates. The people who live at my feet have forgotten me. They fill the air with noise and take my gifts for granted. They never thank me for the fertile soil, for the clean water, or for the long years I have kept them safe. A wave of understanding washed over Tiko. The mountain wasn't angry. It was lonely. It felt unappreciated. Bowing his head in a gesture of sincere respect, Tiko spoke softly. I am so sorry, great Mount Duma. We have been thoughtless. We will not forget you again. We will care for you. With great care, he began to place the cool, smooth river stones he had carried all this way around the fiery rim of the crater. As each stone touched the hot rock, it seemed to absorb the mountain's fiery temper. Glowing with a soft, gentle light, a wave of calm seemed to spread from the stones, soothing the volcano's turbulent heart. Slowly, miraculously, the thick smoke began to thin, and the angry red glow softened. The deep rumbling quieted to a gentle hum, and then silence. The great sad eyes of the mountain closed, and a sense of peace descended upon the peak. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, Tiko made his way back down to the village. He found the villagers huddled together, their faces pale with exhaustion and fear. Mount Duma is calm, he announced, his voice ringing with a newfound confidence. It was not angry, only sad. We need to show it our respect. The villagers stared at the small boy in amazement. They looked up at the mountain, which now stood silent and serene against the morning sky, its smoky breath gone. A sense of shame and gratitude filled their hearts. They had taken their guardian for granted. From that day forward, everything changed. Led by Tiko, the villagers worked together. They planted vibrant flowers on the mountain's lower slopes, creating a colorful blanket of life. They cleaned the river, ensuring its waters ran pure and clear. They held festivals, singing songs, and telling stories to honor the great mountain that watched over them. And Mount Duma, it smiled a quiet, contented smile. It felt the love and respect of the people, and it slept peacefully, a true guardian once more. The villagers never again forgot the important lesson Tiko had taught them, that respect, care, and gratitude have the power to calm even the strongest and most formidable forces. It's a beautiful reminder that everything and everyone, no matter how big or small, thrives when shown a little kindness. Thank you so much for joining me for this wonderful story today. If it touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more tales that inspire and warm the soul. We'd love to have you in our community. Until next time, take care and remember to show a little kindness to the world around you.